On June 18th of this year, the City Council unanimously passed a resolution asking for one thing, a scoping hearing in Spokane. So let's give ourselves a round of applause as a community that we got a scoping hearing tonight. You know, we're the farthest east city to have a scoping hearing. Those people that live on the rail tracks where the coal is loaded in Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho did not get a hearing. So I want to thank the people that came here. Yeah, boo! I want to thank the people that came here representing those communities because it impacts you too when the trains come through your communities. Now I keep hearing about jobs, but my job as a representative of the city of Spokane is to look out for the citizens of Spokane and what happens here. It can't be wrong to say that if you're going to increase the number of trains to 63 trains a day, we don't have to look at what those impacts are to the city of Spokane, to our traffic, to our health, to our environment locally as citizens of Spokane. I keep hearing about jobs, but what jobs in Spokane? What are the positives of increasing 63 trains a day through Spokane? What are the positives? Well, we can look at the negatives: emergency response, traffic backups, diesel particulates, coal dust. Those all deserve to be studied. That's what we're asking for here, is to have the EIS include Spokane and other areas that are affected and see what those effects are.
Thanks for everybody for coming out. Yeah, this meeting is about about the scope of the EIS. And it's essential that the transportation of coal be included, not just the site itself. At Sandpoint, we're very concerned. We have a lot of questions. How many trains are going to be coming through our town? We're a major choke point for these for the rail lines right now. It's known as the funnel. What are the traffic impacts? What are the air quality impacts? What are the water quality impacts? 30 miles of this route may go along the Lake Pend Oreille. What are the risks to increased derailments? If there was a derailment on Lake Pend Oreille, it could be catastrophic. What kind of remediation plan would be in place? Emergency vehicle response times. These are all questions that should be asked and should be answered, but they won't be unless we're included in the scope. And so I'm here today, along with others from Sandpoint, to make sure we're not left in the dust. Thank you.
My name is Julie Sternquist. I'm a registered nurse here in Spokane. I do have 3 children, one of which has asthma. Thank you. One of which has asthma. I'm here out of the concern for the health of our community. If you look, cancers, childhood cancers are on the rise, allergies, autism, asthma, and also heart disease. These are all things that we've turned a blind eye to, and it's time that we wake up and we start doing something about it, of these threats that could potentially impact our community. I first became aware of the proposed coal exports and the trains coming through from one of our local magazines, The Inlander, and I became concerned for myself, my children, and our community. I did an internet search, and I looked up coal dust and diesel emissions. And I found articles, I found studies, I found so much information regarding the negative health consequences of these materials. Some of that information is even coming from our own government agency, the CDC, or Centers for Disease Control. When I read the article, I was sad to think that my children and others in the community would be exposed to the coal dust, which contains mercury, arsenic, lead, selenium, chromium, and other heavy metals. Those are toxic metals that get into our lungs, air, water, ground, and crops. And obviously they're coming from Wyoming and Montana, and they all come through Spokane. Spokane right here, where we get the coal dust. We don't get any benefit. There are no jobs for people here in Spokane. We just get the toxic material.
Thank you. And did you know that in 2010, the Spokane Clean Air Agency study identified Spokane's lung cancer risk strongly connected to the residents' proximity to the rail yard because of diesel particulate. That concerns me as a citizen of Spokane.
Hey, do me a favor, I'm kind of cold. Would you scoot up a little bit? Come on up here. My goodness, you're so far away. Come on up. While you're coming up here, I need a volunteer to be our pallbearer. Is there a pallbearer who come in? Somebody come. Come on, there we go. Here we go. Okay. No, come on. All right. This is an open casket funeral. We're gathered here today to remember one who has touched the lives of us all. Carbo Carbonis, known affectionately by everyone simply as Cole. What can we say about Cole? Cole was quiet. Cole was reserved. Cole was unpretentious and never liked the spotlight. True, Cole was a little shy at first, but if you didn't mind working hard to pry Cole out of its shell, you soon realized just how warm and energetic Cole really was. Indeed, it was this warmth and energy that has made such an indelible impression on us, and why we will all miss Cole being a part of our lives. Cole was a faithful friend we were all eagerly willing to welcome into our homes. And Cole always proved to be the best kind of guest, unassuming, undemanding, and always ready to help with the dishes or be the first to volunteer on some larger home project. Cole especially loved power tools. And even when not working so hard, it was always a simple comfort to have Cole around, reading a book together, watching TV, listening to music. It got to the point that Cole was a part of just about everything we did, and no matter what we did, Cole was a genuine light in our lives. But Cole wasn't merely appreciated by those of us who knew and welcomed Cole into our homes, which admittedly is just about everyone. Cole made a real difference in our communities by creating an industry that's provided jobs and income to hundreds of thousands of families for many years. Cole was good for the economy. Why, I've known people so grateful they'd be willing to move mountains for Cole if they could. I'm not saying Cole didn't have a darker side, but you'd have to dig pretty deep to find it. Still, anyone who knows the least about Cole will have to admit that Cole wasn't perfect. Sometimes Cole can make a real mess of things, but that was never enough to keep us from appreciating all the good things Cole brought into our lives. But alas, all things come to an end, and as much as we are all enjoyed having Cole around, and as much as we'll all miss Cole, the time has come for us to let Cole go. If we don't let Cole go, whether in gratitude or grief, it will be as if Cole's spirit is still lingering in the air, haunting us like a ghost. In every tradition around the world, it's necessary to pay the dead their proper respects, and now it's time to give Cole a proper burial. I know this is a little controversial, and a lot of folks would prefer that Cole be cremated. But this just doesn't seem fitting in Cole's case. Cole needs to be buried and left to rest in the ground once and for all. It will be difficult for some more than others to let you go, Cole. But all of us know deep down that your time has come and gone, that the time for Cole has passed. So Cole, thanks for all you've given us, for all your warmth and light and energy. We now release you. May you forever rest in peace.
Pamidaev, Nahashavet, Nistan Dalawase. Good day. It's really good to see everybody here. And excuse me, but it's just an emotional subject. I came 640 miles from the Northern Cheyenne Reservation to say, this destruction you coal companies call opportunity will devastate my homelands that my ancestors fought and died for. And I will not stand by and let you continue. I will not stand by and let you further destroy, pollute the water, the air, the land, and the future of the Cheyenne people. I want you, the Army Corps of Engineers, to seriously consider alternative energy and to stop the destruction of our Mother Earth. Thank you.
So I'm not just standing up here uneducated saying, well, I don't like coal. I'm up here as an elected representative of Spokane. I met with Burlington Northern in Washington, D.C. I had a meeting with their Western States representative 3 times in the last 3 months. I asked about the surfactant. I said, you know, coal dust in 2008, Burlington Northern put on their own website that over a ton of coal gets lost from that train when it travels. They said, oh, well, we're just trying to pressure the coal companies. That wasn't true. Well, what are we supposed to believe? I said, if you're putting surfactant on it, that's going to stop the coal dust from our communities. I'd like to see a study on surfactant. That was 3 weeks ago, and they were supposed to send me the information. I haven't gotten anything. I was asking them about why can't they cover the coal trains. Well, it's too expensive. Our health is not too expensive. We need to be heard. Today is that day. We've got a hearing. We need to go on the other side of that fence. We deserve to be heard throughout the entire process. All we want to know are what are those impacts, and then how are we going to mitigate those if it goes forward, or maybe if the impacts are bad enough, it shouldn't go forward. It's important for your voice to be heard. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much.